I think what has happened, everybody knows actually how it all went off. I just want to ask one simple question. When did all this start? On November 29th, I resigned from the Congress party. December 29th, I was issued income tax notices. Immediately after that, Congress party's own minister writes an undated letter to the court. And then Telugu Desam party, along with Congress party, impledes into the petition. And then they start attacking me using the court as a venue. On one side you attack me with various departments after I had moved out of the party. Income tax, enforcement, you name it, all of them. Then immediately you don't stop with that. Then you go ahead and you also make the courts venue to it. What I just want to ask is one simple question. When my dad was alive, why wasn't all this alive? Why wasn't there any of these topics coming up? And why is it that as long as I was in Congress party, none of these things have even surfaced? Why is it that only after I left the Congress party, all these things are coming up? In fact, if somebody is alive, and if there is a court case on that somebody, and while the court case is on, if that somebody dies, you usually scrap the case, saying that that person is no longer alive. So the case is squashed. Here you have a situation, probably first time in probably this country, where you are attacking a dead man, and that too after 2 years after his death, and that too when his son has left the Congress party. I mean, this is a vindictive, witch hunting situation, what is actually being visible here. All what I want to ask is just one thing. Chandrababu Naidu was ruling for 9 years in Andhra Pradesh. You tell me just one single instance. When Chandrababu Naidu was ruling for 9 years, didn't he give ports? Didn't he give Kakinada port to Malaysian government? Didn't he give Gangavaram port to Dubai government? Didn't he give Krishnapatnam port to Natco Chowdhury? Didn't he give land to EMR? Didn't he give land to L&T? Didn't he give land to Billy Rao? I mean, you just tell me one instance where whatever Chandrababu Naidu was doing for 9 years, you tell me one case, one instance where dad had deviated from that already existing policy. And moreover, all these decisions are cabinet decisions. I mean, it is very much to everybody's knowledge that even if 5 acres of land were to be given to anybody, it's mandatory that it goes to the cabinet. And the cabinet would have to approve such kind of decision. And every decision, whatsoever was done, was totally government in nature. And land was allotted or land was given, but there's a cabinet involved. There were recommendations from the bottom. Cabinet was involved. And whole of the cabinet took those decisions. And today, just because dad is no longer alive, and just because he is in a situation where he cannot come back and argue for himself, this whole Congress party, just because I had left the Congress party, is making one man a target. I mean, where is the whole cabinet gone? What about the n number of decisions where Chandrababu Naidu took similar kind of decisions? What about them? Why is it that just one man is being blamed? I seriously don't understand. I mean, for somebody who's done so much for Congress party, is being treated the way he is being treated. And you are using everything at your disposal because you are in ruling, because you have the entire power with you. And I'm just one helpless man. I'm in the opposition. I have nobody to back me. I'm young. All these people are much older to me. And they're all hitting at one single person. For what? This is the status in which this country is moving. On one side they talk about corruption and things like that. On the other side they make use of every mechanism what they have in store to only hit the opposition, to only strengthen themselves, showing somebody else's blame. 1,25,000 rupees of 2G scam is done, and Prime Minister is not called for CBI. Only a minister is named. And here you have a situation where a dead man is there. He's dead. 2 years ago he's dead. Just because his son leaves the party, the whole of the cabinet decisions are just put aside. And you're wanting to pinpoint one single person. And I seriously want to ask another important question is, they spoke about favors being done and quid pro quo money coming in. Well, I just want to ask one single question. They spoke about 3 issues majorly. I will address all these 3 issues. One, they spoke about Sakshi, that is Jagati publication Sakshi. Here I want to ask just one simple question to all these people. Sakshi is rated number 9 in the country. Isn't it a fact? ABC figure of 14.5 lakh circulation per day. IRS of 1.4 crores readership survey. A similar paper in the same vernacular language, Telugu, is Eenadu. Eenadu, with an accumulated losses of 1800 crores, Eenadu went and collected money from Nilesh Company, valuing Eenadu at 6,000 crores. Few months before, Sakshi had even thought of going and raising money. In this backdrop, a similar paper, similar circulation, better technology than Eenadu, all parameters being the same, valued by Deloitte, does a valuation by Deloitte, goes for a valuation of 3,500 crores. What is wrong in it? Tomorrow, if all these people who invested in Sakshi make money, it is everybody's knowledge that paper takes 3 to 5 years to break even. Because of the competition, the rates of Eenadu is slashed down the rate. Because there's competition, it takes 3 to 5 years. But after 3 years and after 5 years, after this paper breaks even, this paper goes for a valuation of 6,000 crores into public. Won't all these people start making money? I want to just ask one thing. People who invested in Sakshi, they've invested into Sakshi because presuming that they would make money out of it. And yes, they would make money out of it. It is rated number 9 in the country. It has got a 14.5 lakh circulation. It has got an IRS in the readership survey of 1.4 crores. They're bound to make money. Why is it that it is not a fly-by-night paper? It is not fly-by-night company. It is not a sham company. It is very much in existence. This is as far as Jagati is concerned. Then they start talking about my cement company. I'd like to very specifically talk about here. In my cement company, there are only 3 shareholders: India Cements, Dalmia Cements, and another dear friend of mine by name Mr. Prasad. India Cements invested around about 90 or 95 crores. They made 140 crores. Dalmia is invested around about 90-95 crores. They made 145 crores. 150 crores if I'm right. My memory is right. Prasad invested around about 265 crores. He made 550 crores. Every investor who is invested into Bharti Cements, when I sold part of my company to Vika, what is a French multinational giant, cement giant, Everybody in this company made money. How is it that if these people would have invested into my company for favors done, why is it that these people have actually made money? Isn't that visible to everybody, what these people talk about? Then the other question what they ask about is my power company. I want to tell one thing very clear here. See, any hydropower project takes a minimum of 5 years for completion, right from the date you get from the date of allotment. This project was in Karnataka. In 2001, we took over this company, and for us to get all the clearances alone, it takes 2 years, and then it takes 3 years for it to complete. By the time my dad sworn in as the Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, it was May 25th. And on Christmas, December 25th on the same year, within 7 months, this project was actually commissioned. And by the time my dad actually sworn in, it's a 140 crore project. By the time my dad was actually sworn in, we already chipped in 90% of promoters' contribution. Where is the question of any favor, anything from my dad's end coming here? You go to IREDA, Indian Renewable Energy Development Authority. You go to MNES. You ask them straight, what is the sanction limits if somebody comes to you for a sanctioning of a project loan? At what rate would you, or what rate per megawatt would you sanction the loan? If there is a tunnel involved, if it's a project is in north, they clear the project at 7 crores per megawatt. For a project what is not even commissioned, for a project what is yet to be taken up, that is the sanctioning per megawatt limitations. In this particular project, after my project was commissioned, we had gone ahead and placed mobilized 130 crores by qualified institutional buyers, valuing this company at 10 crores per megawatt for a commissioned plant, what is very, very reasonable. SSK has done their valuation. People have invested. All those people who invested into that company also, whatever money we received from that, it was used to retire debt. It was not even a disinvestment. It was dilution of equity. It was used for retirement of debt. And aspersions were made on those companies also that these companies, even though the fact being that these companies have also invested in blue chip companies in India, they were false. And I didn't want to have a bad face with my investors. When I sold my cement company to Vika, I in fact bought these people out. Whatever money they invested plus something I gave them, just to safeguard my reputation with my investors. And if it is my own money, then why is it that I am buying back my shares, giving them more money than what they've invested? These kind of allegations are leveled. And what actually pinches me the most is they are trying to malign my dad. Today, if Sonia Gandhi is ruling, both in 2004, it was my father's Padayatra what actually brought 30 MPs and what actually ensured Sonia Gandhi is in power. And in 2009, if Sonia Gandhi's UPA 2 is ruling, it is also 33 MPs contributed by dad. Why is it that Congress lost in Karnataka? Why is it that Congress lost in Uttar Pradesh? Why is it that Congress lost in Bihar? If it were only Congress party's own regime, it was. I mean, whether somebody accepts it or not, because of the fact that he is dead and because of the fact that he is no longer alive, it was one man's contribution. And what exactly are you doing as a tribute to that man? Just because his son is walked out of Congress party, you are targeting the reputation of that one person. Is it right? Under the garment of corruption, you're hitting underneath the belt. Is this right? I ask all these people, especially these people who are in power. Chandrababu Naidu, who joined Congress party, I mean, he's got his own case pending in the court. For 6 years, he's been running the case on stay. And when CBI was to be probed into Chandrababu Naidu got a stay, on the pretext that it is not CBI, it is Congress Bureau of Investigation. On that pretext, he went to the court, got a stay, and today the same Chandrababu Naidu wants the same CBI to probe into me. How come suddenly this Congress Bureau of Investigation has changed into something else? And today, all these people are wanting to hit me for what? They don't want somebody who's moved out of Congress party, to come back to power in Andhra Pradesh and to show to the world that this boy has moved out of Congress party and he's come back to power. They don't want that to happen. But what pinches me is they're hitting that. They're hitting on his reputation, especially when that person is no longer alive.